All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are live with another episode of the Authority Project. I have Sheldon. I'm not even sure if I got this right. Is it Primus? Primus?
Primus,
Primus. Yes, even better.
Optimus.
He is in the virtual stage with me today, and he says he's going to help you find your niche. And not only that, crush it. He's going to help you crush it by finding your niche today. Is that right, Sheldon?
You gotta be able to crush it, right? If you find it and then you don't know what to do with it, what's the use of finding it? You gotta crush it while you get it, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we shall see. We shall see if he's able to do so and help us out with this incredible, important aspect of your business in this episode of The Authority Project.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, feast your eyes and tune your ears. It's that time again. We are live with another episode of The Authority Project. It's the video podcast streamed on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Periscope, where we talk to digital marketers, business coaches, and creators of all kinds on how they've built authority in their field and how you can mimic their success. Developing authority, building your audience, and attracting better clients to your own business. Now, without further ado, let's bring to the virtual stage your host, Brian S. Arnold.
All right, it's Brian back on the stage here. This is the Authority Project. You are the project, and we want to slap authority to your name so you can sell more of what you're great at. And we're here with Sheldon today, Sheldon Primus. And I'm excited to get into this very critical aspect of building your business. And before we dive in, though, Sheldon, let's get right to who you are personally, first of all, and who you are professionally.
All right. Well, thank you for the nice little words and starting up and getting the Primus in there too. That's nice. Most people don't know, they see it and I'm like, the band owes me money. They owe me some cash. So
Yes, yes, sir.
my field is safety consulting, and truly it's occupational safety and health. It's the safety guy. All you guys that you're working in business and you're always saying, oh yeah, let the safety guy take care of that. That's pretty much my niche in life, is working with them. So it wasn't always like that. I was working for the city of Orlando in Florida for a while as a wastewater treatment operator. And even before that, I was one of the guys, young legs, young back at the time, early 20s, that would be picking up the garbage, running behind the truck, grabbing the garbage, throwing it in the can, and going to the next one. And I had to do that pretty much because it was a temporary job that gave me an opportunity that if the city wanted to hire, then they hire from their temporary pool first, and then I would be able to get a full-time job. So, young man, I had to hustle, so I did it. Yeah. And they said, we had a position for wastewater operator. And I'm like, I don't know what it is, but it's a full-time job. I'll take it. And that's really where I got started. And somewhere along the line, they said, we need a safety guy. You willing to do the safety guy? And I was like, all right, I'll do it. What's in it? And they said, well, you'll get a couple hours a day that I could just focus on safety. I get an office, and I get a card that I could buy stuff with. And I was like, ain't got to tell me twice.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. And
Nice.
that got
Yes.
me started. And then my final position, I was in the safety when I got started was in the 90s. Well, no, excuse me. No, that would be, 94. Whew, I'm about to date myself.
There you go. Okay, there you go. Yeah.
And my last position was with I worked for a special district of the state of Florida, but by then all my duties was safety and compliance. And I kind of worked my way through getting my bachelor's degree and my master's while I was working full time. And it's worth it, isn't it? I don't know if you've done that route, but you got to. And when I finally finished up, I was like, I'm a little burnt with government work, so I decided, let me see what it's like to start my own business. So 2008, I started my own thing. As originally, I was going to try to be a consultant to utilities, water and wastewater, but I figured, well, I know a lot about safety too. Let's add that in. I had to pivot because it wasn't paying the bills.
Right, right, right.
So I made the quick switch. and
Yeah.
when I started doing more OSHA compliance, and for you guys that aren't in the US, OSHA is Occupational Safety Health Administration. They're the
Mhm.
people that regulate the safety and health of the US workforce. And I started getting trained to be OSHA uh, authorized, if you will. And after that, I kind of started answering the same question over and over again about safety consulting. And I decided to be a safety consultant. And now my job is I am the consultant to the consultants. And
Nice.
that's the niche.
Nice. Okay, so that's your current project, I assume. That's my next question, correct?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is it. That is
All
it.
right. So what does your daily routine look like?
My daily routine is all kinds of jacked sometimes. I can't
Okay.
tell you.
Okay.
Sometimes I start out where I'm waking up and I'm watching Netflix and
Yes.
like stupid stuff just to get my mind, free.
Yes.
But I'm constantly, the entrepreneur bug where, you're like that movie where it's squirrel, I think it was Up or one of the other movies where the dog's kind of chasing something and all of a sudden he sees a squirrel and his mind's poof, going to the squirrel.
Right. Right.
That's the entrepreneur mind. So
Okay.
I've always have a project that I'm working on, and right now I'm trying to. I've always said this: I am truly the first that decided to teach people the business of being a safety consultant.
Yeah.
So my day-to-day job is I'll either work on a podcast, and then I'll also help with my personal clients that I still have, and then also I'm trying to figure out what is the next best thing resource wise to help my clients, which is going to be other safety consultants. And truly, I kind of try to find different ways to help other people. So that's what my day looks like. And it's searching internet, it's writing programs. Right now, I'm doing a lot of videos. So it's different from each day. And sometimes I actually just don't do nothing. Is that okay to say?
Yeah, that's nice. Hey, I love that. I love that. So, uh, let's dive into that because it seems as and I'm gonna hit you with something here.
Go ahead.
You have a very unique niche. It's very
Yes.
unique. But how do others get into finding a niche? Do we really need one? It's the first question for you.
Hmm. Well, the answer to that one is yes. And it's very simple, but truly, uh, the way that our society is right now globally, we have spent time, energy, and money just about on anything that interests us. And we can find it at a fingertip when we're going through all our devices. So if you now can think of what problem have you solved in the past, or what problem has someone kept people keep telling you about, and you're like, this is the third time this month that someone's asked me about this exact same thing,
Right.
you got a niche.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's like
Seems
Field of
simple
Dreams,
enough.
man. You build it and it'll come.
Yes. Simple as part of my model here. So, but okay. So, can you give us the steps? Are there steps to finding our niche? What is the process that you've seen? Because you seem like you kind of walked into your gift or walked into a profession. What
Mhm.
about some what do you teach as far as people saying, I don't have anything. Show me how to find a niche. Is there a process to this? Is there a method, a solution?
The method comes after you uh, after you truly do what's called more of a soul searching event. So first thing is going to be, are you ready? Have you had enough? Is it time for you to do something for yourself? So when you can answer those questions first, that then will lead to, what am I good at? What do I like to do? Even if it's something that is, what am I really good at? Even though it's not a passion yet, but it may be something that I'm really good at. And then now you could change that into some monetizing. And one niche doesn't mean you have to stay in it. You could get another niche and another niche, depending on time, energy, resources, things like that. But the step first is, are you ready? Then number two, what do you think you're good at? Or people keep asking you, hey, help me out with this thing. And it could be anything as simple as someone keeps coming to you and says, hey, I need to pass this test. You've done it. Show me how to pass this test. And then another person, show me how to pass. And then, we may be onto something. And then truly the next stage would be, how do then you formalize it? Because you're going to need to formalize it through a business. And then how do you promote it? So those are the steps that's going to follow after the idea. And there's a bunch of you know, because you're a business coach, so you know that there's some nuances as into finding who your perfect person will look like to approach, and they call that a customer avatar. There's that angle to it as well, and you're gonna have to learn that. But truly, it is first, am I ready? Second, let me do a personal inventory of what I could provide, and then third, let's formalize this thing. Let's get some steps into this thing, and then we're going to grow it.
Yeah, I want to dive into that step 2 real quick. About personal inventory. What do you really mean by that? Are we listing down what we're great at, or what we think that we're good at doing? Is that what you're talking about as far as a personal inventory? Dive into that a little more.
Yeah, personal inventory, and that's a great question, is pretty much everything. It is, what am I good at? And you could even split this in quadrants if you want to, or something similar to that. What am I good at? And I actually am thriving at it. I like it. I enjoy it. What maybe I'm good at, but I could live or dead, let it go. I don't care, but I'm still good at this thing. What is, something that I'm not so good at, but I really want to learn. And then something that I have no idea why I'm even thinking this thing out. It's just wasting my time.
Right.
So you list those things out, and truly you're going to start to do a personal inventory as into a list of things that you're saying, all right, this quadrant over here that I'm good at and I like doing, I'm going to pursue that. And if it's not going to bring you immediate money, because right now in 2020 going into 2021 you might need immediate money, and that's probably going to be something that you've been trained in vocationally. That's going to be immediate money. Build that first and then do passion projects.
Okay, so my next question was going to say, what do you think of people who say they don't have a passion, but you're not really saying passion yet? So let's go here. What do you say to people who say they're not good at anything? They're good. They're good at a few things, but not really great at anything. What do you say? What do you say to that? Because I hear a lot of that as well. Like, I don't know what to do because I'm not good at anything.
Yeah. First, I say change your mindset. Because your mindset's even if you try to do something, if your mindset is I'm not good at anything, that's telling me something about your personality. So that's telling me that there is not a can't do attitude, meaning I can't do this. You want a can do attitude. I can do this. So if you think you're not good at anything, you got to first change that mindset, meaning I could find one thing. And then how are you going to find it? Friends and family knows you best. So ask your friends, ask your family just to say, hey, give me two things that you think I'm really good at. And if you have several friends and family that list the same one thing out of the two, pick that.
Okay. So let's go now. Say we did all that. We did your process, right? We went to a few friends. We said, hey, they say I'm good at this, so great. I'm gonna pursue this more. How do we get to crushing it, which is what we have to do right now? How do we get to crushing it now? All right, we got the niche. We got it to a certain degree, right?
Yep.
How do we crush it?
All right, that's going to take a bunch of things. First is going to be active listening.
Okay.
Active
Okay.
listening, right? That's one of those old school things that we
Yeah,
kind
what
of
does that
think of,
mean?
right?
What does that mean, Sheldon? What are you talking
What does
about?
that mean? That's right. Brian's pulling it out of me, just
Yes,
pulling
yes,
it out of me.
yes.
So, active listening in the form of business is this. You could use physical tools to do it, such as for me, I love using Google for this. And what I'll do is I'll set up a Google alert for certain terms, and I'll put them in
Okay.
quotes. So, for instance, I have a term that's going on right now that's OSHA compliance. Anytime OSHA compliance is anywhere on the internet or interwebs, as some of the old school people will say,
Hmm.
I get a alert, and then therefore I could stay ahead of the game. And now, if I see something is brewing with all these alerts, this is going to lead me to a blog post, a live stream. It's going to lead me to a social media, some sort of alert that I'm going to tell my group that. And
Okay.
in order to do that, you need a group, right?
Okay.
So that means you're going to end up, in order to start this process, you're going to have to go ahead and break down and get yourself a business Facebook, and break down and get yourself the Twitter, LinkedIn accounts that are going to help you. And there's several other resources to where you could post one place and it'll spread it out to different services. So don't worry about having to post to each and every one. There's an easier way to do that.
Yeah.
But that is first, you're going to be your home. And then to draw people to your home where you're going to be posting, and most people are using LinkedIn right now in business formats. But if depends on your niche, you're going to have to find where your people are. And then from there, join in some of the free groups, like a Facebook free group, or even a Reddit free group or something similar to that. Don't spam, because they'll kick you right out that group.
Okay.
but,
Okay.
but what you want to do is you want to give in really good information to that group, and then they'll start referring to you. You become part of the family, and from there, you could even do similar offers, as into get my free guide here, or and when you say something like get my free guide, the person who wants to say, oh man, I really need what Brian's going to offer there, and they're going to go to your whatever it is,
Right.
homepage, or
Right.
and
Landing
you got
page.
yeah,
Yeah.
your landing page is what they'll call it.
Yeah.
And you could get that through an email server. You don't actually need a website. It helps, but you
Exactly.
could get that through an email server. They download that free guide, and therefore you have their name and the email. Now you got yourself a tribe that you're starting, and they're getting something they want. You didn't spam the group, but now you're starting to build that list. So when it's time to broadcast to the list all the things that you've been collecting through Google alerts, or listening to conversations, or joining associations or something similar to that, now you have something to bring. You position yourself as an authority, and
Yeah.
that builds your business.
I love that. That was definitely um step by step. So let's summarize that one more time. So we're doing the Google alerts off of something that is your niche,
Yeah,
right? And
and
then
that's yep,
part two of that is we're going to a Facebook group, or we're building our own group first of all.
I
But
like that.
we're also submitting to other groups that are in our niche as well,
Correct.
right? Content.
Yep.
And then once you get some kind of buzz or some engagement, then you swing into action with your guide that you have to create. All
Correct.
right. You have to
You're
create
making
something.
something.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are we creating, Sheldon? What are we creating with this niche that we just found out about? That's the only thing. That's my question to
Yeah.
you there.
It really depends. It could be anything to your family's secret chicken recipe. Any, don't get grandma mad though.
Right. Right.
Don't be
Right.
giving
Right.
away the secret stuff in grandmama's recipe. But
Right.
you could do something similar to that, where
Yeah.
it's something that that if someone gets their hand on this, it's a game changer for them. It's either,
Okay.
and a game changer for someone could be, you save them a lot of time. You solve the puzzle that they could not put together, and you
Yeah.
got that answer. That's a game changer to them. Or you gave them something that is going to help them save face with someone else, or even get credit for something. And those are the things that you offer up. And I would offer up some of the things that work really well are checklists, especially in a niche setting. If there's something that people constantly have to go through and look over, and now let's say your niche is going to be helping people how to food prep. Okay, now you got to know, here's the grocery list that you need to food prep. Here's some recipes that you need to do. And boom, here you go. You give them food prep recipes or food prep grocery list and the recipes. You just got that for free. They'll gladly give you their name and email for that.
So I'm glad you said that. So it has to be like something that's like, I'm glad you clarified that. It has to be like something that they want, that they need. More so what they need than want. And there's some things that, I mean, you can throw some things that out there that they want, but it has to be a need. Like you said, it fixes the problem right now. They need this question answered. Correct.
Correct. And you're going to get that because you're answering those questions already. Those are the same things that people keep telling you over and over again. Hey, I need some help with this exam. So here you're going to do an exam prep freebie. And it could be PDF, 3 to 4 pages. And now you could say, here's a booklet for an exam prep for this specific niche. Yeah. And now that niche, when they know they need exam prep, they'll go to you. So what's the next best thing after you give them an exam prep? Why don't you go ahead and reserve some time with me, and I will coach you one-on-one until we get you to pass this exam. We just got you to pass this exam. Why don't you go ahead and we could work together, and I'm going to give you a monthly service such as a membership group, and we're going to keep advancing your career. And now you got yourself a niche that you just supersized.
Gotcha. All right. I'm glad you finished that up, because I was like, okay, like I'm saying, it's like what else is after we have this big community? So we have to have some intent at the end of all of that. So
everything's intent, or else you're it's like one of those lawyers that not even lawyers, it's like your mom when you come in late. She knows because someone already called you and said, hey, Sheldon's been acting up, he's coming home right now, you need to take care of him. And then all of a sudden she asks you, well, where have you been? And you try to play it off. She knows where you've been, you know the answer. So you have to do the same thing in your business. You got to know the answer to the question, and what's the best way to do it is this is, you could play around with how you're going to do this, but the idea would be you're going to give away what to do, and then you're going to sell how to do it. Yeah. Give away what to do, then sell how to do it. And that's going to help you with your niche.
This is great stuff, man. You gave us like step by step, which is awesome. So
good. I did this with a blueprint course, so that's why I love blueprint courses, because it breaks down. That's just the way my mind works.
Right.
So go ahead, Ryan.
Great. Yeah, cool. So what do you say to people who think this is a lot of work to get all that together? Because I mean, it's very simple what we said. I always say this a lot, that it's simple. It's just not easy.
Yeah.
So there's some work involved with there. There's stuff where there's some copy right in there. If you go to your landing page, they want you have to kind of convince them to still get this guide. Yeah. You got to word it a certain way. You got to find the right people, find the right niche, and find the right people who, like, when you're putting out these posts and content. Sometimes you don't get engagement. Sometimes you will. Sometimes you got to maybe find the right content, and maybe don't give up. So part of that is like keeping your mental stability in doing all these things.
Yeah.
So tell us, like, what do you say to those people who think, like, it sounds great, Sheldon. It sounds great, but I don't know if I'm able to do something like that. It's just it's just a lot of effort that I'm not sure if I can do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first thing I'll say is get your mindset right. Yeah. So that all goes back to mindset, right? So truly what that breaks down to is being broke is easy.
Yeah.
Being
Right.
uninfluential and being just lost in the muck of people is easy.
Yeah.
It just becomes harder when you say enough's enough. I got to branch out of this thing somehow, some way. And the thing is you got to do it today, because what'll happen is truly it's going to take you to get any kind of return in your investment. You're looking at 9 months to a year in some cases to really start getting a bite. So that means you're going to have to keep shooting that
Yeah.
ball until you start, hitting those 3-pointers. Just keep throwing up that brick, and then eventually it's going to be swishes. So you got to start doing that, and it is hard. So that's why you have to get coaching. Coaching is the best way to short circuit some of these things. That's why you're going to have to look for resources. And if you find resources, you will have to spend some money, because it just means you have to spend it the right way. And then when you do find the shortcuts, make sure it's viable shortcuts, meaning it's not someone trying to take your money.
Right.
Vet the people that are giving you the coaching, vet the people that are giving you the shortcuts.
Yeah.
And Brian, I love your page because you start people off with like the lowest barrier of entry, working up to when they're ready for something, one-on-one coaching at your all access level. At that point, they're ready for it and they work their way up to that. So that's
Right.
what I say. Find those resources that will help you in the low end, and then you start investing in yourself to get to the next one. It's not spending money, you're investing in yourself, and then it's going to have a return.
Absolutely. I love that. This has been great, man. You gave us the blueprint right there. I told you, you gave us the blueprint. You crushed it today. So I have one last question though. I have one question.
Uh-oh.
So it goes something like this, and I'll put you front and center
Ooh.
so people will know. And it goes something like this. People have similar interests, similar goals like you, maybe similar paths, where they want to help other people maybe build their niche or get clarity on what they need to build their business, to build a lifestyle that they want for themselves. So can you tell them in however many words you want to say it, how they can become an authority in their space?
Yeah, absolutely. To become an authority in your space, you're going to have to always be creative as best as you can. You truly want to be humble, understand the needs of people, and if you don't understand, ask. They're going to tell you what they need, and then you respond. That's why those groups are really good, because now you could post questions and you could tell people, hey, I want to provide this new service for you. How can I do it? What are you looking for? What best will help you? And then that's going to help you become more and more the authority. It's truly by listening, then actively responding. And that's the best way I could tell you to grow that business. Listen, then respond.
Incredible. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. I love how you keep it very simple, very simplified, because I think a lot of people complex it. They complex it. And I'm not sure if that's a word, but
We'll make that in. It's in there. We're right
you
there right
understand
now.
what I'm saying.
I
What
do.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You overcomplicate it, should I say? So this is great. So I appreciate it. This is just great information, Sheldon. So can you tell them now how they can get a hold of you after the show?
Yeah, absolutely. Best way would always be sheldonprimus.com. And if you're an emailer, then it's sheldon@sheldonprimus.com. And then if you're on LinkedIn, which a lot of people are, it's truly just look up Sheldon Primus on LinkedIn, and I'm right there.
All right, great. And can you, for the people who are listening later, is that Primus with a Y or an I in the middle?
Ooh. Oh man, that would just hurt. Yes, SHELDON, like Sheldon Cooper, or some of you Big Bang Theory fans are.
Okay.
Primus, Primus, like the band, and Optimus Prime, which I hear a lot.
Yes.
So that is how you would figure out Sheldon Primus for you. Thanks for asking, though, just in case, right?
Yeah, just in case. You just never know. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. This has been an amazing episode. And I love all the answers that you gave today. And please, people, go ahead and check this guy out. He's the real deal. And you can see if you're having trouble, because there are a lot of people I know who are having trouble with this.
Mm-hmm.
Get a hold of this guy and so he can help you out, because I think this is a very big thing where people are missing that mark of what am I supposed to be doing. So get a hold of this guy, get a hold of him and just listen. How about that? And actively listen to what he has to say to you. All right. And it's just the season. Everybody, happy holidays to you. We're almost out of 2020. Please go check out theauthorityletter.com. Join that list. And I email you weekly to help you build your authority platform. Everyone needs to have a platform to be an authority in some way. Have that confidence, have that positioning, and we help you do that on a weekly basis on the list. All right. And that's all I have to say today. Sheldon, do you have any other last tidbits of inspiration you want to give us before we get out of here?
Yeah, man, you could do it. Shake 2020 off and just go ahead and do this thing. You got this.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, everybody. Build it, share it, and they will come. We're out of here. See you on the next one. Peace.
And that's a wrap for this episode of The Authority Project. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you like what you heard, we want to hear from you. Subscribe, rate, and give an honest review. Share and tell your friends so they can hear too. And for even more authority building tactics, be sure to sign up at theauthorityletter.com. Get free weekly content and ongoing digital product giveaways to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. We certainly hope you got a key takeaway, or maybe an aha moment from today's broadcast. Just remember, it's your authority. Build it, share it, and they will come. Until next time.